to Belen. We can talk about this moment where we have a little bit, hopefully it's going to calm down shortly, but we're in between the extreme fire threat and then we got some rain chances. And we need the rain, but at the same time, it can cause some really major problems too.
Yes, it'll mostly be beneficial, but we need to stay tuned to the forecast because, as I mentioned earlier, if the storm takes another track, it brings in more moisture, then we may have those bigger concerns. So today is going to be a transition day, amigos. Buenos dias and happy Friday. I want to show you the wind gusts map. The winds have died down significantly. Right now, we do have some gusty conditions in Santa Clarita, a gust of up to about 13 miles per hour, but you notice we have much calmer weather everywhere else. But because the humidity is still very low right now in the teens and the single digits, the red flag warning is still in effect. So I told you this yesterday, how the red flag warning was going to be extended until 10 a.m. this morning. Well, you'll notice if you live in those wind-prone areas, the winds have decreased, but also the spots where we do have the windy weather, they're going to gradually diminish as the morning goes on. Now, here's the view from Mount Wilson, where those trees, they're not moving that much anymore. I know it's dark out there right now. Sunrise happening around 6:55, and it's going to be a bright one. Throughout the day, clouds will overtake as the winds diminish. We're going to have a reversal of winds, that sea breeze kick in. That's going to lower our temperatures, highs in the 60s and 70s, so much calmer as we head into the afternoon. But over the weekend, things are going to get busy again, especially for the weather team. I'll be back to explain more about this cold storm on the way. Right now, let's check on the drive, and it is Friday. It's been a long week. Hey, Holly Hannula, can I get you to raise the roof?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people today, Belen, are psyched that it is Friday, and we hope this day meets you with a peaceful heart, and I hope you're having a great day so far. Taking a look at a big green map, so something to be grateful for if you have to leave the house shortly. Not much going on the road. So I'm zooming into the Inland Empire. Love what I'm seeing on the 210, the 10, the 60, the 91. No problems through Riverside and Corona on the 91. Zooming into the West 10, Colton to Pomona will take you under 30 minutes right now. Speeds in the 70s, all looks good through Bloomington, Fontana, Ontario, and also Montclair. Coming up in a few, we will check conditions on the North 215 through Riverside. Lynette, Adrian, over to you.
Holly, thank you.
Ooh, some soup sounds good, Belen. Good morning to you on this Friday. All looks fantastic on the North 215. That drive Paris to Riverside under 20 minutes. No problems at this time through Moreno Valley. You're cruising at speeds in the 60s. Coming up, I will tell you about an accident that just popped up on the 134 in Burbank. It is 4:37. You are watching Today in LA. Happy Friday, everyone.
Let's talk about the risk of mudslides and debris flow because rain is headed our way, but the possibility for seeing those debris flow based on this current forecast is low, 5 to 10%. And the reason for that is the rainfall rates are expected to come below that threshold. So the rain rate that we're expecting over the weekend will be about 0.1 to 0.25 inches per hour. The threshold is half an inch per hour. However, the storm track is still uncertain, and if it takes a slightly more westerly track, pulls in more moisture, then we may be dealing with higher rainfall rates, which is the reason why I urge you, please stay connected with us throughout the day and into the weekend, as our First Alert weather team will be watching the system very closely. It's dropping in from Canada, so it's a very cold storm impacting us as we head into Saturday. Sunday right now is looking like the rainiest day, and it's just going to stall over California. So this is the reason why we have to add a disclaimer into our forecast, because we have an estimate how much moisture we're expecting, but the system, if it does decide to stay a little bit longer, bring a bit more moisture, then we may be dealing with higher rainfall rates and higher rainfall amounts. The possibility of some wintry weather stays in our forecast all the way through Tuesday. So here's how it's going to progress. As the morning goes on, the winds will diminish. The red flag warning is still in place until 10 a.m. because it's so dry. But watch what happens around the middle of the day. Clouds start to increase. So you're going to start to see some changes today. It's a transitional day, but we're staying dry. And then we get to tomorrow morning, we're still dry. Throughout the afternoon, we'll start to see a few spotty showers in our forecast. Not expecting any flooding at that time, but the roads may be a little wet. Saturday evening into Sunday, very cold temperatures in the mountains mixing in with that moisture. We'll start to see that snowfall. And then here we are on Sunday around the middle of the day. We're starting to see the activity more scattered, more widespread, pockets of thunderstorms, a possibility, and more snow in the mountains. Now, this is what you can expect. Light to moderate rain, mostly happening Saturday into Sunday. A a chance for some thunderstorms, and under those areas is where we could see some heavier pockets, mountain snow. The amounts less than half an inch for most of us, but higher amounts in the mountains, and that snow level will be dropping to about 4,500 feet. So we're going to see some good snow in the mountains. So there's a possibility of seeing, yes, depending on the track of that storm, some debris flow, some localized flooding, and winter driving conditions. In fact, we have winter weather advisories that have been issued for the mountains, winter storm watches. So traveling in the mountains is going to be very challenging. And look at this, above 4,000 feet, we could get from 1 to 4 inches. But at resort level, we could see up to about a foot. So let's get you ready for this. Clear gutters, storm drains, check windshield wipers, ensure that your heaters are functioning. It's going to be very cold this weekend. Have sandbags ready if you live near those burn scars, and pack snow shades for that mountain travel. Here's your 7-day. You see the temperatures really dropping off. 70s today, but 60s and 50s this weekend, and that cold weather continues through next week. The valleys and Inland Empire, 70s today, 60s and 50s this weekend. If you have any sprinklers, if you're still using them, hey, you got to turn those off. The weather in the high desert will be windy, and we'll have that chance for moisture over the weekend. The low desert, the best chance you have of seeing anything is going to be on Sunday. And in the mountains, we're shifting from windy weather to snowy weather. That's going to start late Saturday into Sunday, possibly continuing into Monday and Tuesday. That's your forecast. Now a check of the drive. What's going on, Holly?
All right. Good morning to you on this Friday. Traffic is light in most areas. I do have a small brush fire to tell you about in the Sherman Oaks area. Now, fire crews are in the right lane taking care of this. It's very small, so this should be out shortly. North 405 just south of Burbank Boulevard. Right now, not seeing any delays for folks making their way up towards North Hills. In Burbank, we have a crash. Vehicle hit a guardrail east 134 near Forest Lawn Drive. The vehicle that was involved in the crash is partially in the right lane, but no slowing for folks making their way towards the 5 or the 2. I'll let you know if that changes. North 71 Corona to Pomona, a drive of under 10 minutes, speeds in the 60s, all looks good through Chino Hills. And then on the West 60 Riverside to Diamond Bar, that drive's going to take about 24 minutes, speeds in the upper 60s. No problems through Rubidoux, Harupa Valley, Ontario, and also Chino. And then finally, South 605 Drive, Baldwin Park to the 105 is going to take under 15 minutes. Speeds in the 60s, all looks good through Whittier and also Santa Fe Springs. Coming up in a few, we will check conditions through Mid-City on the West 10. It is 4:56. You are watching Today in LA.
So thankfully, the winds are going to start to die down. Right now, they have improved significantly from even just 24 hours ago. The only gust I'm watching is over in Santa Clarita, but notice how this map is much sleepier, much calmer than it's been over the past week. 2 weeks, things are calm when it comes to the winds, but look at the humidity. Right now, it is still very low. We've got teens, we've got single digits, which is why this red flag warning is still in place. So the fire danger is still present. We can't let our guard down just yet. Until 10 a.m., we're going to have this red flag warning in effect. So a reminder that even though the winds are dying down, we still have very dry relative humidity and very dry fuel moisture out there. Please be safe. Bundle up. We've got numbers in the 20s in the desert, a freeze warning in effect for the Antelope Valley, 18 in Big Bear, and we've got 40s and 50s in lower elevation. So it's a colder morning. And then during the afternoon, what we're also going to see is a drop in temperature. So the transition's starting to happen today. Today's a transitional day. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s, low 70s. We were in the upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow. And it gets even colder this weekend with rain and snow moving in coming up. I'm going to get you ready for it right now. Let's get you ready for this drive. A lot of green behind you, Holly.
That's right. Right now, Friday light conditions, Belen. I've been mentioning since 4 a.m. No real problems on the road. I'm thankful I can take you back to Sherman Oaks and clear a very small brush fire that the fire department handled. They had the left lane taken up. Thankfully, everything is now clear on the North 405 near Burbank Boulevard, and there are no delays for folks making their way up towards Mission Hills. In downtown LA, lots of green. It's a quiet commute for now on the 10, the 110, the 5 freeway, and also the 101. West 10 Drive 5 to the 405 will take just about 12 minutes right now. Speeds in the upper 60s. I'm not seeing any issues for the time being through downtown LA or Mid-City. You're at speeds in the 60s. Coming up in a few, we will check conditions on the West 60 through Rubidoux. Adrian and Lynette, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Holly. We'll see you